Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Call of Duty Mobile. Of course, this is the Garena Masters 11, and this is just the round robin stage. Join us here for a wonderful sets of matches up for grabs that you're gonna be watching tonight. By the way, my name is Vince G. Together with me is Kuku TV. So please, guys, join us because tonight's gonna be intense.
Yeah, and it's been a while, Vince G, that I've casted for Call of Duty Mobile. Again, this is Garena Masters 11, Legacy of Champions. Features the top teams in Call of Duty Mobile from the Philippines, Malaysia, and Singapore, competing for the regional dominance and, chance to qualify for the Garena Stage 4 qualifiers. And Vince G, we do have a lot of contending teams that we have seen in the previous Garena Masters 10 that we are going to be, seeing tonight. One of those teams, which is again the champions before, was the Team Elevate. So I'm so excited to cast again for Call of Duty Mobile. Are you excited, Vince?
Well, I am. Kuku TV, welcome on board. And for everyone, of course, you're going to be witnessing the start of Garena Masters 11. So, of course, this is going to be the opening matches. So this means that in this round robin stage, they're going to be declaring the momentum. Who is going to get the first points in this round robin stage? Because if you have the most points, the most wins, that means you have the head start in this tournament. So, you mentioned teams. Of course, we've seen some familiar teams, of course, veterans in the Call of Duty mobile scene here in Southeast Asia. And a lot of fresh faces are going to be entering the scene. So, Kuku TV, let's break down the tournament schedule.
Yeah, the tournament schedule, it starts from July 4 until July 8. And then we are now in the group stage, or the round robin stage, from July 17 up to until the 26th. And then right on the August 1st and August 2nd will be the playoffs. So the time is on your right side. It's going to be from 6 p.m. onwards, Philippine time, if you're from the Philippines. And again, we're going to do the round robin stage from right now, Friday, until next week on Sunday, the 26th.
Gonna be a long journey for them. Wanted to go into the playoffs, they have to win. That's why they need to dominate the 7 stages, 7 days of round robin. Out of 130 teams, 5 teams will proceed towards the round robin stage, and those 7 teams, of course, including the 2 invited teams, they're going to be battling it all out in this round robin stage, and only 4 teams will proceed in the playoffs. Of course, first weekend of August, first days of August, we're going to be seeing the semis and the finals, and this is where the excitement starts in the Garena Masters 11. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to be eyeing on your favorites, now's the time to support them. So if those teams, the 130 teams from the qualifiers, well, the more they need that support.
Yeah, most especially. But we are now in the top 7 teams now, which is, again, we're going to have teams. Later on, we will show you those specific teams that are qualified already. But like what you mentioned, they're going to go all throughout these round robin stages, wherein they're going to have to get the most wins in order for them to be the top 4 teams. Only the top 4 teams will proceed into the playoffs, and they're going to be the ones to basically leave a good and great legacy for Call of Duty Mobile Garena Masters 11. And Vince, we've mentioned teams like Elevate, but let's talk about first our prize pool. The total prize pool is 40,000 US dollars, wherein the grand champion will get a total amount of 20,000 USD. Second placer will get 9,000 USD. Third placer will get 4,000 USD. 2,500 USD for the fourth placer. And then from 5th to 7th, they will still get 1,500 USD. So, in other words, Vince G, everyone will get their own share.
Yes, everyone will be getting their 1,500 USD. So that means if you survive those 30 teams qualifier stage, you earn yourself a juicy 1,500 US dollars. But it's up to you guys to get the bigger share. Half of the prize may be going towards these teams. TBK Oblivion, SKAERI, AMG.NLX, Legends, Rival Esports, ALUla Club, and Elevate. 7 teams, 1 champion. Who is it going to be?
Yeah, who is it going to be? Well, I mean, if I were gonna pick one, I would more than likely pick Elevate, since they were former champions and they were even former world champions, Vince. But then again, there are gonna be other teams that would contend. Most specifically, we do have ALUla, who did manage to get second placer in Garena Summer Invitational 2026. Also second place in the Garena Major, or Garena Call of Duty Mobile Major Spring in 2026. So those are the teams that you are going to be expecting to get the most out of this tournament. But then again, what if there's always a what if, Vince? What if these other teams that we didn't really mention, what if they would be stronger this time around?
What if, Mr. Will Talks? Of course, you already asked the magical question. So I'm very much excited on how this season is going to kick off. Of course, this is gonna be the first day. How will they make their first impression? Of course, we're gonna be witnessing 3. Of course, you already knew the form. We're gonna be playing in the standard. We're going to be starting off with the hard point. We're going to be deciding if in the search and destroy, if we're going to be seeing a control map or not. But it's all up to the teams to, as I've said, make first impression. And how are they going to do it in Season 11?
Yeah, how are they going to do it? Well, you just have to probably take notes from those teams that are on the top of the leaderboard in the previous season. Maybe try to correct some things like errors that they have made, and then here in Season 11, Vince G, maybe they can, try to get those things up. But then again, we're going to have 3 matches for today. Just to let you know, to all of the viewers right now watching across all of our platforms on the Black app, on the Red app, or even in the Blue app, we're going to have 3 series up and coming. So it's going to be a banger day for everyone.
Banger after banger after banger of a match. 3 series. Only 1 winner at each series. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the first series. We're gonna be kicking things off ALUla versus X. So I'm gonna be much excited on who is gonna be winning this one. AMG.NLX, of course. We're gonna be we're also familiar with these teams, and I think ALUla, of course, they entered. This is the first time them enter the Garena Call of Duty mobile scene and gonna make that impression. Are they gonna us? Of course, but ALUla, of course, is not new. The players, of course, I think they came in from organizations like Stalwarts, and they're gonna try to prove that, of course, in their new representing right now. Of course, they're still us. They're gonna try to win under a different banner this time.
Well, I've seen familiar names here in ALUla Club. We do have Skird. We also have FBX. Way back before when I was casting, like 3-4 years ago, Vince. These are the the staple names in Call of Duty Mobile, and they are now here in ALUla Club, and they have recently gotten the second placer, for the previous season of Garena Masters in Season 10. So they have something to prove here. I mean, if they can beat the holy hell out of Elevate this time around, maybe they can prove something to them that they can be better than them. But then again, like what we mentioned, what if there will be other teams that would be scary, like VIZUALZ SKAERI, who were the champions in the Garena Elite Philippines 2026 just this May, right?
Very, very scary. Or see who is gonna be the scariest of them all. But as we prepare for the game, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be heading towards a short break. Do not go anywhere. We're in the Garena Masters 11 Call of Duty Mobile Tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Garena Masters 11. We are still here, your casters, Vince and Vince, of course. Let's get straight into the point. Let's get straight into the action. We're done with the introductions. Now it's time to talk about the first team. It is gonna be ALUla versus AMG.NLX. So we talked about this earlier. We've already talked about what we think about the teams. Let's now talk about already had that
Well, first of all, banned the maps right now. ALUla banned Hacienda, and then they also banned Summit. And then as for the side of ALUla ESPORTS, they have banned Combine and also Takeoff. Now the map will be happening in Arsenal. There's a very interesting map here between these two teams. Vince, this is gonna be happening on a hard point, by the way, as well. So let's see what will happen between these two teams. But by the way, also on the live feed that we do have on the Black app, hopefully our mics are already fixed now. So just let us know on the chat. So just keep on spamming if there's any situation happening on our end. But anyways, Vince, like what I said, we're gonna do it in Arsenal. Again, this is going to be between ALUla and ALUla ESPORTS. This is gonna be a banger.
this is indeed a banner. Arsenal first. This is gonna be an interesting hard point for these two teams. Of course, ALUla and AMG.NLX try to talk to somehow describe the sides. Most likely, ALUla is going to be on the red side. AMG.NLX is going to be on blue. So most likely, who's going to take the 250? Who's going to step into the first 250 points?
Well, first of all, I mean, let's talk about the teams as we are about to start now here in Arsenal. It's going to be ALUla ESPORTS versus ALUla. Now, we'll go ahead and go to the first hard point as we now take a look at the kills now early in this matchup. We're going to start off in P number 1. It's going to be right straight off at the middle. We're going to be batting it off here, Vince, as you can see that ALUla currently having some troubles here. 13 points already and up to the 0 points of ALUla. X is currently doing really good. Ooh, you can see the shots there coming from Angek. And another one goes down there from ALUla, and ALUla having a difficult time here in the early stages of match or map number 1.
AMG somehow stepping on the first point here. 36 and count being contested in the last 10 seconds, and ALUla decided to take the rest of the seconds away. So somehow it's not going to be a stump of a first hard point. P number 1 still. ALUla will be getting the points. Coco TV, we're going to switch towards another position as we head over P number 2, who's going to take the lead.
Yeah, P number 2 already in position is going to be X, or actually it's going to be the other way around. ALUla, look at that shot here coming from Lucas Zin. Going straight up, trying to get that high ground advantage. Ooh, but then again, here comes the other guys from X, but then will be stopped by Lucas again. And Lucas just having that high ground advantage here and able to see his teammates just, gatekeeping these players from X, not able to get in P number 2, but looks like P number 2 now is on the side of X.
Well, ALUla did manage to close the gap for a little bit, but somehow X, of course, they have been threatened by the situation, so they decided to contest and dominate. 15 seconds still on the clock, but ALUla is still trying to hold it on until X decided to take it all away. Now, P number 2 is being contested by these two teams, and now they're gearing up as we wait for the P number 3 to open, and each and every one of them are holding their position, waiting for someone to come out of their sides, and then they're gonna shoot them in a bang. Theoric gets to, Clove also gets Laps, and there you have it. Equalizer just to even up the score, but ALUla decided to take first step.
And the equalizer being used, but will be stopped there by Dioric from X. And now, let's see now, the claw now being used by Dioric. Right now, you can see that they are just challenging key number 3 right now, able to, stop the momentum here of ALUla. Now getting the scores now, 62 to 55. Ooh, look at that. Right from ALUla, they are able to take it back. But then again, still being challenged here. Ooh, as ALUla now takes it back. Key number 3 now gonna be taken back by ALUla. It's gonna be an even things here in key number 3 here between X and ALUla.
It's raining havoc, ladies and gentlemen, and ALUla somehow decided to get more and more points. Key number 4 definitely on the way, and now they're running through it. They're trying to hold this one before it opened, and now the floor is gonna be on ALUla's side. Look at FDX. He's spraying guns, ladies and gentlemen, is looking for more opponents in their fight. Now, Miku decided to pick towards the window, sees FDX, and he got taken out. So, who is now in the lead? It's definitely ALUla, but the first number 1, X decided to take the first step. Will the situation change?
Oh, nice shot there by FDX with that Tempest, but then again will be stopped by X. Then again, they still have key number 4 with a 94 or 95 to 68 lead now, and still going up. FDX still just hiding behind the box. Oh, will be exploded by FDX. Nice play there by ALUla, just getting P number 4 controlled and being dominated right now here by them. Then again, Lucas will be seen there, and actually Dioric rather. Clove will go down as well, as RG able to get 2 here. Skirt will go down also. But then now we are going to P number 5. FDX finds 1. But currently X has the hard point number 5. They're gonna have to make sure they control this one, because look at the lead right now, Vince. ALUla taking the lead right now, 116 to 74.
ALUla decided to step on it, step on the gas, take the lead as we head towards P number 1 once again, and the rotations are just crazy enough. ALUla, they struggle at the first stage, but they pick up the pace, they pick up the momentum. Even Jai here decided to land that claw, spray it down, even with the smokes right in front of his face. He's not even scared. He puts a lot of trophies there, here and there. Grenades is not gonna get inside this hard point, but look at that Jai becoming more and more confident. Claw now running up, switches up. You can see the switchblade now being Dioric holding that one. Scared decided to win that fight. Now we are back at it again. Number 1, the name of the game. We're gonna be starting things off, ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Yeah, we're back at mid. P number 1 activated already, and ALUla with a nice rotation, able to take control of it. Again, the score target is 250, and they're just less than 100 left of points that they need to score. RG tries to get in. Not so sure if he's able to get one. Actually, he gets FDX, but he will be killed already by Kolov. But now, you can see Lupa's in on the camera as well. Very focused, trying to defend. P number 1 right at mid, still having control on mid. The War Machine right now is going to be thrown out, but then again, he gets killed. Now Dioric with the Switchblade, still trying to defend now. But this is going to be the last couple of minutes now, or seconds rather, for P number 1. Eventually, we will have to rotate all the way to P number 2 now.
P number 2 heading towards our way. And now X trying to get those points up. Are they gonna head towards their first 100 points? But ALUla denied that one. Of course, P number 2 opening up anytime soon. FDX with a Predator missile towards RG. And Ange also caught one as well. Jai gets Dioric down. Death Machine for Lap. Looking for very juicy targets, and he's not done yet. He wants to pulverize each and every one. Now, Lap here holding his position, but a lot of crazy actions here and there with SKS by Lucasin. Now looking for more. Can he get his double? But no, he got denied. Sliver of life He's still holding on. Switchblade towards RG, and now he's running through. Can he spot one? We can see some drones flying over the place, Cuckoo. This is definitely a war zone, I must say.
Yeah, definitely a war zone. Now, the last few seconds here, and P number 2 will be taken still by ALUla. And look at this now from SKAERI. Ooh, he actually goes down though. That's courtesy of Yorick, but here comes Yorick again. Ooh, gets another one here. So they get the last few seconds here. Now they switch over to P number 3. But looks like ALUla is already in position with the lead here with 194. You can now see them able to take it from X. Ooh, Jai goes down though. Laps goes in, tries to go with his switchblade, but he will go down.
He will go down. Who is gonna try to rise up? ALUla. Of course, they're just counting seconds. They just need 40 more seconds in that hard point. They just need to buy a lot of time, but X is doing their best to hold that hard point. Jai here with the claw up on his hands as X players charging. Go near Angge, throwing a lot of nades with that war machine and an explosive shot, going one after another, but they cannot eliminate ALUla in that hard point. Things are getting so much complicated here in P number 4, but ALUla is just 20 or 12 seconds away into winning this hard point, Cuckoo.
Yeah, just 12 seconds away. We're now going to the next hard point. It looks like X has already rotated all the way to the next hard point. But here comes the push coming from ALUla. Let's see here, Laps. Laps tries to get one, gets one. We'll get one more probably, but not so sure though. Oh yes, he gets one, but he dies all at the same time. And now ALUla takes the hard point with 5 more seconds left here to go for them as they go ahead and win this hard point. 250 to 140. Again, X really had a hard time in that exchange here between them and ALUla Club, and ALUla Club showed who's the boss in hardpoint.
ALUla, they decided to dominate this series by winning the hardpoint. The only problem that's left for them to solve, Cuckoo, is to win the next mode, which is Search and Destroy. If they can win that grueling 7 rounds of S&D, it's gonna be an easy opening match for ALUla, but for X, they have to force a control map just to somehow punish them for defeating them in this hardpoint map. So AMG.NLX, somehow I'm gonna be looking for their redemption here in Search and Destroy. But as for the maps, rather, we've got Arsenals. I'm kind of expecting that I'm gonna be seeing some slums in SNDs.
Yeah, we might see slums and SNDs, but again, let's focus first on the stats here. Lucas using the SKS in that hardpoint matchup. You see him able to get those kills, and he's gonna be the top fragger here for the side of ALUla Club with 45, 19, and 11 KDA. So Lucas just showing his best, here in this hardpoint matchup here in Arsenal. And as for X Vince, I mean, they tried in the very early stages of this hardpoint matchup, but then when the switch of the hardpoint, the rotation by ALUla Club, that made the change here. X didn't really made a ton of adjustments in order for them to be able to turn things around against ALUla.
AMG.NLX, Cuckoo, if they could force a game number 3 by winning S&D, well, we're up for a treat. We're up for a banger, ladies and gentlemen. But you've asked for a banger. Of course, ALUla gave us a banger of an opening match by winning that Arsenal hardpoint. Definitely theirs, because we've seen how they struggled in the first few seconds, and then somehow P number 2, they decided to get close into that points, but they snowballed their way through 250. So let's see how can Team X decide to come back, catch up with the help of S&D.
Well, S&D will be totally different compared to a hard point. I mean, I always say this before, Vince G. I mean, it's all about, that mindset we're in. If you were able to, plant the C4, plant the bomb, or maybe get the kills all together, for your whole squad. So, ALUla Club, they have the credentials. I mean, they were the second placer just in the previous season. As for X, again, this is a team that has a lot of something to prove here in this season. Again, I mean they finished the qualifier stage with only a single loss. I mean that's a really good achievement for Rex. But then again, here now in the the group stages or the round robin group stages, then again Vince, they will have to battle it out with all of the top teams, top tier teams here in Garena Masters Season 11.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, still welcome back here into Garena Masters 11. Of course, hope you are having a wonderful evening. Of course, to everyone that's currently with us here in the live chat, of course, let me know your thoughts. What did happen in that first map? ALUla did manage to get that victory. Of course, if you wanted to catch up, here's some recap of what happened here. But this time around, we are now going into the S&D mode, search and destroy. What is it gonna be? I was expecting slums, but is it gonna be slums? Ooh.
Yeah, it will be slums.
Okay. Thank you.
But you see the bans here. ALUla banning firing range and coastal. And then for the side of X, they banned Tunisia and Meltdown. So they think that ALUla Club would be best in those two maps. And then as for ALUla firing range, one of the staple maps here in Call of Duty Mobile, definitely an automatic ban for them if ever they would be battling against X. But again, slums will be the search and destroy map here. This is going to be really interesting, Vince, as I mean, I've seen slums matchups before, way back when I was casting like 3-4 years ago, and it may go down to the wire, Vince G. It really depends on the team and also the player specifically.
It is going to go down the wire, but of course, we're gonna be talking about the maps here. Slums, as we've said, it's a fast-paced S&D arena that, of course, favors the quick mid-map control and early pickups. Of course, that kind of aligned towards the AMG explosive style. So if I'm gonna be asking for game number 3, this might be it. AMG, they could have been winning this one. They could have won this one. They need to win this one as we head over into the search and destroy.
Yeah, let's head over to search and destroy. Ooh, early kills already. Onto the side of X, Jorik gets 2 already. Jai goes out. And also another player, FDX, goes down also. And now here comes Lucas with the SKS again. Gets 1 as he backs out. It's going to be a 2v1 situation, or 3v1 situation though. As he's going to try to rotate all the way to the other side of the map. He will try to also find that bomb that he can maybe go for the plant. Ooh, actually gets spotted by RG, and that's gonna be X's first win here in Search and Destroy.
This might be their map. AMG.NLX is now trying to set the pace in the S&D. If they can win 9 rounds, if they could have this map in their favor, we're gonna be heading towards control. But Jai, of course, with that popcorn towards Angge. What an explosive start. This is now going to be a 4 versus 5 situation. AMG now losing 1 member. Make that 2 with Miko being eliminated by Clove. And this means that X is now struggling when it comes to manpower with a 2 versus 4. ALUla, can they finish the job? Now it's all up to Laps. Laps here trying to hold the flank, trying to check every corner, but he could because there's a lot of guns on all sides.
Yeah, I cannot handle that pressure there right in the end. And X loses that round. ALUla is now on the board. So it's now tied up 1-1. You can also see the adjustments there by ALUla Club. They tried to, be a little bit more patient. And as for the side of X, they're very aggressive. Ooh, with another shot there from Angge with that shot able to get 3 or 4 already out for the side of ALUla. So this means that it's only going to be just Lucas again for the side of ALUla. Maybe he tries to get this clutch up. Again, he does have the SKS focused on his device right now. Dioric just waiting for that right timing with a QXR. Also, we have the other players of X on the other angles here. Ooh, he actually gets one. Nice play there by Lucas. He backs out here, tries to reposition, and here comes another guy from X. Lucas does have the SKS, a very lethal weapon. You see, he has the PKM rather. And now, the SKS here being used by Lucas. He'll try to be a little bit more patient here, Vince. There's still a lot of time here, 50 seconds left to go in this round.
Well, there's still a lot of time. 2 versus 1 situation. The only problem for Lucasin is to retrieve that bomb. In order for him to do so, he needs to eliminate all members of X. But they're quite guarding this bomb right here and there. They sent some movement and Lucasin got spotted. He went up that jeep leading towards his death. And this will give X another momentum boost as they lead the series 2-1. But ALUla definitely is catching up, so this map might be quite tight for these two.
Yeah, looks like X has the number here currently with a round lead here, 2-1. And now, round number 4. You can see them trying to scope it out with the Locust. Trying to check if they can find the players of ALUla Club. Going for the wall banks here with a PKM. Not able to do so for now. Ooh, but actually Lucas is there. Gets one, but will be traded off. Jai goes out for ALUla. But Laps will also die in the process. So it makes it a 3v4 situation here in round number 4.
Hello. He got spotted by that scope. FDX there did the job. Eliminates RG, and now Skird is entering the code, but they don't need to plant it because of ALUla winning that round already. 2-2 score. As I've said, the slum map, even Stevens, quite tight. ALUla still having that possession of that bomb, but are they gonna hold it in? It seems like the only way to go here is that they need to eliminate the members of X. They need to somehow check if which side is pretty much possible to go. Is it gonna be A or B? But the split here, 3-2. Most of the manpower of the X here is guarding towards B. But can they penetrate the defense?
Again, the SKS just working so fine from Lucas, able to get one. Makes it a 3v4 advantage here for the side of ALUla Club. And for FDX, still just looking with the scope there with the Locust. As for Laps, prone down on the ground, waiting for that right timing. Still a lot of time here. 1 minute and 8 seconds left here on the timer. Not much of any attempt on planting the bomb, Vince, if you noticed. But then again, now another one from Lucas getting RG down, and Skird now will be spotted. Will be taken out by Miku. Miku backs out, tries to reposition, as he's going to be the last member for X in this round. Again, the score is 2-2. Miku just hiding right beside the staircase. Will not be spotted yet. Oh, will be spotted with a flick from FDX. Still wins that duel. And ALUla now takes the lead, 2-3.
FDX there. Quick flick. Almost cost his life. He managed to eliminate Miku in a nick of a time, earning them their round win. This gives them a lead in this series, but can they close it? Still, they have the possession of the bomb, but they're doing absolute best. They do not need to even plant it on both sides. They're just going towards to where the players are at, searching for X players, and then they're focusing on the eliminations. But can they use the same game plan once again? And Dioric here gets a double, Anjay as well. So this leaves 2 players alive for ALUla.
3 kills there from X. So they now have the man advantage. Here comes FDX, waiting for that right timing. He's able to get down as he backs out here. Try to go for a reposition. This is going to be the usual thing that you will see. Once you see the kill, you will see that player will run back down to the base. They're just going for kills here, not going for plants. FDX does have space here. He can try to wait on for the player of X to show up, but nope. He will try to get him repositioned all the way to A site. Now, X does have a 4-man advantage. Oh! Unfortunately, that was Lucas and FDX able to kill 2 players off from Team X's side. And now they have a 2v2 situation here. As they are now looking for the players of X Laps, and RG goes out, and that is it for that round. ALUla Club clutching it.
Well, for X, I must say that they prefer this map. They wanted to force a control, but somehow ALUla read the playbook. They knew what's on the mind of X, and they decided to step up their game. So in order for them to take the lead, they're stepping up their gameplay. And speaking of stepping up, you know this guy, Lucas? He got 11 kills on an SND, and I think he's looking for more bodies to pop. But Clove here, he did pop someone with that nade, and he eliminated one. So that means it's gonna be a 4v5, but make that a 4 versus 2, which leaves 2 players, or maybe 1, because Laps is the only guy standing on the side of AMG.NLX.
And this is Laps, Vince G. He's now all alone here for X. Lucas does have the SK. Yes, he actually gets the kill there. 2-5 now. ALUla Club on the roll.
They are on a roll, I must say. 9 points is what they need. ALUla keeping straight focus on their goal right now. If I were X, I'm gonna defend tight. I need to stop ALUla, but there's a lot of hunch for me that X somehow is struggling when it comes to defense. They're just waiting to be the attacker on this one. So if probably situation may be changing if they had that control over the bomb, and we can see right now RG being the first casualty of this round. 4v5s, and still ALUla being active in terms of rotations. They're checking every corners, looking for potential bodies, even legs on their sights. But the manhunt isn't stopping for ALUla. They want annihilation. They want to eliminate, and Clove got popcorn out of nowhere. Hey, what happened?
Yeah, that's a god nade from one of the guys there. And Anget goes down as well. So just a trade elimination here in this round. But the advantage is still on the side of ALUla. Jai gets Jorik and Miku. Now only 1 player left. And Lucas with the final elimination there with that SKS again. As we now switch on sides. ALUla Club wanting to end the series early. 6-2 again. 3 more round wins. And ALUla will take this win over X.
Amazing show of dominance. ALUla decided to step up. AMG here losing 1 body. Dioric becoming the first casualty. Somehow they equalize it, but the question would be, how can X win? Now that they have that bomb, they need to play this one right. They need to be ultra aggressive. They need to outsmart ALUla, which is now defending both sides. So that means for ALUla, it's time for us to check where X is coming through. Are they gonna go for A? Are they gonna go for B? It seems like they want to rush tanks. FDX and Clove decided to eliminate 2 for the members of X here. And now this leaves 2 players, Miku and Anget, working back to back. 3 versus 2 Kuku. Can they pull this off?
Yeah, can they pull this off? 3v2 situation. And X still on a pinch here. Player number 2, this is FDX, just waiting for player number 3, which is Anget, to just get closer. Now, you see Miku Gonna check on B site, but Angge gets FDX out. So now this leaves only to a 2v2. They can maybe try to, isolate things around here. As for player 4 and player 1 for the side of ALUla, Clov and Lucas, they will probably have to rotate all the way to the backside. Maybe try to reset things up. Not much of time here remaining, Vince. 20 seconds left on the timer. They need to move now. They need to find those players of X. Or maybe they can try to go for the plant here. Now they see Miku. Miku will get damaged. Lucas again with the SKS. Also with a follow-up by Clov. And now, look at this, Vince. 2-7. ALUla is just showing again who's the boss.
I was about to say, Kuku, that they need this win. They need this map. And by choosing this map, X, Slums, they had a pretty good start. Now they struggled when it comes to the opening. I wasn't even expecting that they need to have that bomb. They need to have that attacker side in order for them to somehow outsmart ALUla. But the dominance coming in from these guys, it's quite over the roof. ALUla wants to set the record straight. We want to dominate the first series. We want to make the first impression. Even though we're playing for this team right now, of course, the remnants of them being stalwart player, it's just there. They're just trying to reintroduce themselves as one of the best players, one of the best teams here in the Garena Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah, definitely agree. One of the best teams here in Call of Duty Mobile. Ooh, actually Skurd just out-duels Miku. And now for X, they have 3 left. Ooh, Skurd will actually be taken down by Duric. FDX gets Unget down though. So makes it a 2v4 situation. Still a lot of disadvantage here for X. The Jai here's... Oh, the movements, but Duric wins it all. And now it's a 2v3. They can probably turn things around here for X. Duric needs to be patient, but there's not much of time left here for Team X. 30 seconds left to go here. Ooh, FDX with the flick of the wrist and able to take the shot. Oh my goodness, 2-8 now is the score. And this is probably the last round now here in Search and Destroy.
Defend the objective.
This might be it, and ALUla just need to close this one with the bang. How can they finish it up? And as for X, of course, job's gonna be hard because they need to win multiple rounds, and Clov here is just praying, run and gun, unleashing every bullet, and that's how you close it, says ALUla, to win this series 2-0. An amazing show of aggression. ALUla, hello there for Garena Masters 11.
Wow. It's just so amazing how ALUla Club just, just bullied Team X in that Search and Destroy matchup. Most especially Vince, most especially Lucas. Lucas with the SKS. Just getting those shots into the players of X, and one by one, their bodies go down in every single round. Again, with Lucas's performance here in Search and Destroy, they take that win in Search and Destroy, and there's no more control that will happen, because again, they won in Hardpoint and they won here in Search and Destroy. It is a 2-0 win over Team X.
2-0 win, and as I've said, what a way to kick things off here in the Garena Masters 11. So Lucas Tin, actually, he did manage to shine all throughout this series, as I have witnessed how good he is when it comes to handling his weapons. He's the flex player of his team, by the way, and in the qualifier stage, he's popping a lot of kills here. For Hardpoint, averaging 20. That's insane. But in terms of S&D, as we've witnessed earlier, more than 11 kills for this guy, averaging of 7 in the qualifier stage, and this will somehow add into his records. Lucasin continuing to be a slayer for this entire team. This is the player that they need to watch out for. So this round robin stage, Kuku, is quite tough with these kinds of teams, with these kinds of players in this mix.
Yeah, it's all about Lucas Zin. And then everyone else, Vince, popped up for ALUla Club. If you see here on the highlights, they got the first win, and then eventually they trade off with a 2-2. You will see here currently 2-1 as they tie things up. Eventually the ball goes rolling for the side of ALUla Club, and just the effort here from X. Good effort here from Dioric, good effort from Anget, and also from RG. They really tried their best, but it's all about FTX. Eventually, right after this, round number 5 onwards, FTX. I would also say Klov and also Skurd also added to the mix here. Here with Lucas Zin's performance with the SKS. So again, it's all out team effort. Eventually, right in the end, for Team ALUla Club, as they take the win over X.
I agree. It's all about team effort. Of course, there are players that shined through this entire series, but at the end of the day, it's ALUla's victory. They figured out, actually, ALUla figured out how to stop AMG.NLX into securing the slumps, because this is the only hope to force a control map later on. But with their denial of RG, RG, this guy, he's really aggressive. He's trying to do an explosive, aggressive entry frags all the time. But at the end of the day, ALUla, they just read that, and most of the rounds that I'm witnessing, they're eliminating him. They're just trying to remove him straight as that guy. You don't want to deal with RG first. So without him in the mix in search of and destroy, that means you're removing that aggression, you're removing that explosiveness that he brings, that he's contributing to ALG.NLX, and that's why the firepower is eventually dying down, and that's why ALUla secured that victory.
And you know what, Vince? I've casted Call of Duty Mobile, games like way back 4 years ago. But this is the first time I've seen a search and destroy wherein didn't really saw any attempt on planting the bomb, right? So that's a first time for me here in Call of Duty Mobile. We're gonna be back on your screens, guys. This is yours truly, Kuku TV, together with the one and only Vince G. We're the casters for day number 1 here in the group stages of the Call of Duty Mobile Garena Masters Season 11 Legacy of Champions, and we showed you a glimpse of whatever we can probably see in the playoffs, because again, this team of ALUla Club, you could see how dominant they are. They played against Team X, and X basically didn't really got anything for them. The score is 2-0, and now they got that first series win over a team here in the group stages.
You know what? In this main menu of insane series that we witness, this is just the appetizer. And I'm quite full. But I cannot be full because we're gonna be going towards the main course of this entire evening. What do we have for our menu? It's gonna be Elevate versus VIZUALZ SKAERI. So Elevate, of course, we all know that the portfolio is quite big on these teams. So a match that definitely worth to witness. And that's why we need to keep our eyes glued in this series alone, Kuku. We just witnessed greatness of ALUla in the opening match. But of course, there's still more series to come. And we still have our main event for this evening, which is Legends versus Rival Esports.
Oh yeah, we still have 2 more series left. But again, the next series will be really interesting. Again, we're gonna have Team Elevate versus VIZUALZ SKAERI, a champion to another champion. But you know what? Before we go to that matchup, we're gonna go on a short break here. Kuku TV and Vince G will be right back for more Call of Duty Mobile action.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Garena Masters 11 Call of Duty Mobile. We have witnessed the first series, and of course, ALUla decided to get that W. But in the main course that I am talking about, who is gonna get that juicy victory? Vince P and Kuku TV is still with you, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, Kuku TV, your thoughts about this banger of a match?
Well, I mean, the previous match was a banger, most especially because Lucas Zin was so very dominant when it comes to his use of guns. I mean, also the map presence of ALUla Club in that hardpoint match, giving Team X a little bit of that lead in the first couple of hardpoints, and then eventually rolling the ball over until the very end of the hardpoint, and then also for the search and destroy match, Vince, they gave a little bit of that lead to Team X. Maybe try to give them the taste of victory, but eventually that taste of victory will be right at the end with them as they go on with multiple wins right at the end. But again, before we even continue with our tournament, let's again talk about the tournament schedule, Vince. We started off in July 4th until July 8th for the qualifier stage, and then now today, that's July 17 until the 26th of July. We're going to be on the round robin stage. I call it sometimes the group stage. And then right after the round robin stages, we will go to the playoffs. We're going to have the top 4 teams battle it out in August 1st and August 2nd. Ooh, these are days before my birthday, Vince.
Happy birthday, Mr. Kuku TV. Advance happy birthday, by the way. And of course, before your birthday is gonna happen, we're gonna be seeing the champion of Garena Masters 11 by that day. And are we gonna see some new faces entering the scene? Are we gonna see some fresh faces being crowned as the champion? Imagining this, starting from 130 teams, it boils down to 5 plus 2 equals 7. Of course, 6, 7. And ladies and gentlemen, those 7 teams, you're currently witnessing it right now, they're facing off each other. So we have 3 series for today. That means 1 team is taking a break of it all. They're just watching the action unfolds because 20,000 US dollars is at stake if you become the champion. 9,000 for the second place, 4,000 for the third place, 2,500 if you reach the semifinals. But of course, each and every one here will be getting 1,500. So not bad, Kuku, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. So even if you lose until the end, you'll still get something out of it. So it's good that you're able to go through the qualifier stage and then now here in the round robin stage. So if you lose today until the end of the round robin stage, you'll get 1,500 USD. But it's best for you to win so that you can get most of the share of that prize pool. But then again, we've already seen 2 out of our teams earlier. We saw ALUla Club and AMG.NLX. Now we're going to see Elevate and VIZUALZ SKAERI. But then again, we still have 3 other teams that we are not able to see yet. The DVK, Oblivion, Legends, and Rival Esports. But again, like what I said, we're going to be having a series between VIZUALZ SKAERI, one of the champions that we had just this year in Garena Elite Philippines way back in May, and the defending champions Elevate, coming from Garena Masters Season 10 way back in March. And for me, this is going to be much more of a banger, Vince, because again, we're going to be seeing 2 champions, champion from Garena Elite Philippines and a former champion of Garena Masters Season 10. And we are now in Garena Masters Season 11 Legacy of Champions. Let's see who gets the bacon now to be brought home to their boot camps.
Oh, bring that home. That bacon. Juicy bacon. By the way, happy watching to each and every one. Shout out to Kali, of course, my favorite buddy, who's currently in the chat right now. So if you're in the chat right now, if you want to get your name being mentioned, being shout outed, just type it down below. And also shout out to DVK Oblivion, one of the participating teams that is just chilling right now. They're just watching because they're not gonna play today. 6 teams are gonna be at it, and of course, TPK Oblivion is just watching at home. So let's talk about the current series, Kuku, because we have witnessed, of course, some action-packed first series. Now it's time to go towards the highly anticipated clash between regional royalty and hungry domestic champions. Of course, let's start off with Elevate. They stand as the undisputed champion of the Garena region. Elevate, if you're talking about Garena regions, one team comes to mind, and that's gonna be that guy. That's gonna be that team. It's gonna be Elevate. A lot of good records in their resumes portfolio, even backing off the World Championship belt trophy. I must say, I love calling it belt because I want to wear it down my waist. But of course, Elevate, they're gonna try to prove themselves up against VIZUALZ SKAERI.
Oh yeah, I mean, for Elevate, they just need to, just hold on to their, whatever pedigree that they have. But before I even continue talking about that, let's talk about the map veto here. Let's talk about the first map that will be chosen. It will be in, let's see where it will stop right at. Ooh, in Summit. Oh no, no, it's not Summit. But it will still move. It's not yet Summit. It will still move. Takeoff? Yes, Takeoff will be the map, Vince. As you can see there, banned. Oh, it still moved, Vince? Is it Takeoff?
It is Takeoff.
Yeah, it is Takeoff. Yeah,
final.
For the banned maps, by the way, for Hardpoint, we have Hacienda and Summit for the side of VIZUALZ SKAERI. And as for the side of Elevate, we have Combine and Arsenal. So, Takeoff map, one of the classic maps for Hardpoint. I've seen this maps multiple times when I was casting, going all the way back 2019 to 2022. Vince, what's your take on this Takeoff map?
Takeoff, almost Summit, but of course it's finally Takeoff. With the sides being Elevate on the red and VIZUALZ SKAERI on the blue side. We've seen the bans Hacienda Summit being removed by the SKAERI, VIZUALZ SKAERI. Elevate removing the Combined and the Arsenal map. We've seen Arsenal earlier on in the stage. But my take on this match, I think we're going to be talking about these two big teams, heavyweight teams here in our tournament. Of course, it's quite hard for me to predict who's going to be the winner, but all I can say that this Takeoff map can be that close. So it might be Elevate, it might be VIZUALZ SKAERI. So let's see if somehow Elevate elevated their momentum. But what if, right? What if it ended up in the Summit map? It represents Elevate because it's a mountain full of ice.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, Elevate, Summit, you know the gist, right? Then again, for these two playing in this map of Takeoff, I believe so. There were a little bit of quite some few times that these two teams had already played in Takeoff in a hardpoint game mode. So I would say that Elevate would still have the advantage here. Knowing, but again, guys, as we are being told by the team, we're gonna go on a short break here, guys. Kuku TV and Vince G will be right back.
Of course, you don't want to miss out the action, and that's why we're back here on the Garena Masters 11. Kuko TV and Vince G is still with you here, and we're gonna be seeing the clash between two big teams, heavyweights. As I've said earlier, it is Elevate versus VIZUALZ SKAERI. A little bit of storyline. As I've said, Elevate, scary resume, of course, no pun intended. Elevate here, they had a lot of championship in their belts. And as I've said, a lot of Arena Masters experience, probably starting from last season, season 10. Garena Summer Invitational 2026, quite fresh. And Garena Masters season 8, alongside the second place, alongside their big appearance in the Call of Duty World Championship last year, 2025. But let's not forget, they have been the world champs. But ABC Esports, Kuku, aka, of course, it's now VIZUALZ SKAERI. They are entering this series. It's a matter of how will VIZUALZ SKAERI translate their local dominance into an historic reign, defeating some big teams. Can they climb up that mountain?
And we do love the underdog stories, right, Vince? So we would love to see underdog teams. I mean, we cannot say they're underdogs because they're champions in their own right, Vince. So we would love to see, VIZUALZ SKAERI to maybe try to get Elevate challenged in today's matchup. Again, the earlier ban or map pick that we have for Hardpoint, we're gonna take it off and take off. No pun intended there, Vince. But Hardpoint will be on a takeoff. We've seen them. I personally seen them because I've watched. Like sometimes I do try to watch live streams in the recent tournaments of Call of Duty Mobile, and I've seen Elevate. I've seen this team VIZUALZ SKAERI play in takeoff, and most of the time I've seen Elevate be able to win with most of their enemies or opponents in this map.
Well, you've mentioned the map. Let's talk about what happened in that veto. Of course, you've mentioned that Takeoff is going to be the battleground for these two teams to get that series lead. Of course, get that first mode win in this series. So, banner recap, of course, VIZUALZ SKAERI, they remove Hacienda and the Summit to somehow limit Elevate's close range break efficiency. So, Elevate, on the other hand, answers back, removing Combined and Arsenal, which Arsenal, we've seen that one earlier on. So that means it's just going to be takeoff for them. So this means, for me, as we've seen the data, that Elevate can maximize this map, and somehow Candy, this guy can utilize the ARSR flex to somehow hold that spawn, that deep spawn angles where the players are coming through.
Well, we're about to start, guys. We're just wanting to make sure. I know there's been a lot of miss and haps. We've tried to go even on a break, but we want to make sure that all players will be inside the lobby so that we can enjoy this matchup between VIZUALZ SKAERI and Team Elevate. And again, these are two teams from the Philippines, Vince, that are really good right now in the current esports scene of Call of Duty Mobile. And right now, we are waiting for them to start this hardpoint matchup in takeoff. By the way, when it comes to side, I think the red side will be on the Elevate side. And as for VIZUALZ SKAERI, they'll be on the blue side. So I'm not sure if they're going to do something about that later on. But looks like we're going to go into the game. Team Elevate and VIZUALZ SKAERI starts it off. Ooh, with a triple kill already early in this matchup here for VIZUALZ SKAERI. Starting off in team number 1. Looks like they get the early lead here, 8-0, but then again got taken back by Team Elevate.
Or Elevate here decided to contest that one very quick. VIZUALZ SKAERI, of course, they want to get that momentum up and running, but Elevate decided to somehow contend and compete in that hard point. As I've said, this is what I'm gonna be expecting. Scores on side. and Mr. Scaries are trying to catch up to one another. And this is just P number 1. Visual Scary now having their foot stepped in at P number 1. They got eliminated and Elevate did take the last 10 seconds of this hard point. But wait a minute. Ano came into the rescue, but contestants are made. Can they buy some time and hold it in before P number 2 comes out?
And a good rotation here by Team Elevate. One is already situated right over there in P number 2, but then it was actually it was taken back by Visual Scare for a little bit, but now it's taken back by Team Elevate, and Halo gets the kill there. Claw gets another one there, but then Pickle gets the kill, then will be taken out by Team Elevate. The score now is 16-36. Elevate still has P number 2, and they're getting total control of this hard point right now as Candy now takes out the War Machine, taking out everybody here for Team Visual Scary, but will be taken down now by Chroma.
Candy taking out that candy gun. War Machine unloading a lot of candies out of that bullet. And for Elevate, it's all about stepping up, climbing up that summit. Somehow being contested here by Visual Scary, somehow trying to catch up towards the lead. PJ looking for target, but he got caught by that Sparrow. And again, the hunt is not done yet, Cuckoo, because P number 3 is gonna open, and who's gonna take the first step? It seems like Elevate got their foot off here.
Oh, looks like Rex, unfortunately, will get killed already right away. His Equalizer, Sebio, unfortunately, will be eliminated right before he actually is able to use that. PJ takes out Chroma. Smokes now popped up. Now PJ gets Sebio. PJ gets down eventually by Rex. Rex gets Susano. Chroma gets in. Yopi right inside. Chroma gets out of the way. Rex, unfortunately, will be down by PJ. Claw gets totally out there as well. But then again, Vince, after everything that had happened here, Elevate still has this hard point, and the lead is now growing 48-79.
Momentum shifts towards Elevate's favor. It's now up to Visual Scary to compete and contest this one. Pickle gets a double. PJ as well. No, he goes for a triple. Candy as well contributing to that kill. And right now, Visual Scaries had their foot inside that hard point, but that's just the remaining seconds. And now they're waiting for P number 4 to spawn. Visual Scary double teaming one player coming in from the Elevate. Elevate having control over that hard point, and they need to remove them one after another. Candy with a popcorn towards Eusebio, removing him into play with Chroma, eliminating PJ. Pickle being taken care of by Yopi, and Visual Scary. They're trying to clean up house, controlling P number 4, trying to catch up because Elevate here, they are in 104.
458, still on the lead here. This Team Elevate, but now looks like Visual Scary is able to get this less than 20 seconds left timer here in this hard point. And Pickle, unfortunately he got out-dueled there by PJ. PJ will be killed eventually by Mamra. Claw right now gets in, gets the kill there. But then the hard point is still with the side of Visual Scary, and this is actually good for Visual Scary. This will get the gap a little bit too close here. 76-108. Now we're gonna open up this next hard point, and will be taken by Visual Scary.
Amazing play, Visual Scary stepping up to Elevate. And as we've said, this is one of the teams they need to watch out for. They're trying to go head-to-toe, neck-to-neck with this top team. 87 and counting. Of course, it's Elevate. They're trying to clean up house with that Predator missile. And it's time to spray and pray for Mamra as he's looking for potential targets to eliminate. What matters most here, Cuckoo, is that they are stepping on that hard point. P number 1 quite vacant, and Elevate found that opening, and they decided to set foot.
Now they decided to still step on foot in this current hard point that we are at. Still will be on the side now, actually, of Visual Scary. But now Number 2 will be activated in just a couple of seconds. Here comes Susano with the claw. Oh, but unfortunately will be taken out. Bombs away for the side of Visual Scary. Look at that from Mamra and Rex as they have the War Machine activated. But then now Yopi will stop him down. Roma also has the Sparrow. Sparrow now activated as well. Now the score of Visual Scary is now moving up 100 to 135. But now even things up here between the two of them, but will be taken back by Visual Scary. But here comes Yopi. Yopi will be taken down though. Here comes the rest of Elevate. 3 players coming in as they take back this hard point.
You know what's tricky in P number 2? You have to go through the stairs in order for you to climb up and take or set foot in that hard point. And once you're up in P number 2, all that you need to do is to watch every stairs and even the windows for potential threats. And now we try to change the venue. We are heading towards P number 3, and Visual Scary had that clear visuals that we need to catch up towards Elevate. 111, and now Visual Scary decided to take the points further. Can they even the game with Elevate? With the equalizer being brought by Eusebio, looking for target, but Yopi's there to deny him.
Yeah, that denial was very crucial, Vince, as Elevate takes it. Ooh, but then will be taken now with 30 seconds left to go here in this hard point. This is a very crucial hard point here for Visual Scary, as they're now growing their score here, 134 to 160. Unfortunately, though, PJ and Susano, together with Yopi, able to take back this hard point.
Elevate taking the last seconds in this hard point, not giving points to Visual Scary. So Visual Scary, I think they're rotating towards the next hard point, probably P number 4. They're keeping an eye on that one, and they're not letting the player from the Elevate to come close. And now we can see right now, Nay being thrown. Visual Scary has their foot in, and now the Elevate is gonna try to enter and break every players of Visual Scary that they see in their radar. Rex bringing out that War Machine, and also Chroma with the Sparrow. You need some explosive action to take care of the Elevate guys. And now for Chroma, of course, it's time to clean up house. It's time to make sure that no one's there. Susano right now throwing some popcorn. I think they're trying to invest. If we cannot control P number 4, might as well focus P number 1 back again.
No, but no worries for Elevate. They now take back the hard point with less than 10 seconds left here to go. But looks like they're going to be on rotation now for P number 1 right at mid. Yopi gets one there. Nice play there here for Elevate. Now they go back to the start at mid. 189 to 165 is the score. Elevate still has the lead here, but look at this. Team of Visual Scary able to get mid here in P number 1. The score is going up, but then Yopi, Susano, PJ able to take it back.
Elevate here. They're not letting the players of Visual Scary step foot in P number 1. This is the third P number 1 that we are witnessing in takeoff, but somehow Elevate has that full control. For Visual Scary, they're going all in. They're throwing every naze that they have here and there just to eliminate Elevate from this hard point. But can they do the job? Can they eliminate them? Somehow, Visual Scary sets foot, but Elevate did a pretty fast cleanup in that hard point, leaving that hard point vacant, and Elevate is just enjoying the remaining seconds before we head over B number 2.
Yeah, B number 2 will be very important for either squads. Visual Scary has to get in. Chroma gets one. Susano will be there. Kendi gets Sebio. Pickle gets Susano the claw with the equalizer, equalizing things up here. Sebio running away with the equalizer here on hand by Claw. Claw will be stopped by Pickle. But then again, whoever has that hard point, no one has the hard point currently is so far. Pickle will get exploded there by Elevate. Elevate now gets the hard point, and looks like this might be it, Vince G. 238 now and counting to 177, but no. Looks like Visual Scary still has some life left with 7 more seconds left to go here for Team Elevate. Looks like they're gonna go ahead and get this win here in hardpoint with just 2 more points left, and that will be it. Elevate gets a win over Visual Scary here in hardpoint.
Amazing start of this series, Kuku. Visual Scary, of course, making their first impression, trying to bag points, but for Elevate, it's time for us to reclaim what's ours. When the scores are tight and even Elevate reach their first 100, they're trying to expand their points further, reaching towards 150, and then they started snowballing their way through the victory. I was even expecting that somehow Visual Scary can try to somehow run and contest those hard points, but it's really hard to somehow contest with a lot of explosions happening here and then just to make sure that that hard point is vacant. No one, or you're not sharing this hard point with anyone. You're stepping your foot there and you're making sure that no one is there to stop you for getting that point. And Elevate did the job. They did it neat, they did it cleanly, but for the side of Visual Scary, I'm kind of expecting that they're going to be catching up in the S&D.
Yeah, S&D would be very important for Visual Scary, or else it'll be another 2-0 series as we had earlier on with ALUla and X. But look at the highlights here between Visual Scary and Elevate. That early lead that Elevate had, especially with P1 and P2, really dictated this matchup, and with them using all of their operators here really good. You can see here Chroma using his Sparrow at the same time for Claw and others using their own arsenals as well. Vince, definitely it made that impact here for Elevate. There was a little bit of scare here by Visual Scary, right? Probably around the P number 4 going to the next hard point, but the momentum was stopped by Team Elevate.
You know, even Elevate, they're respecting Visual Scary in that match because you're trying to eliminate them all. You don't want someone to share that hard point with. And Elevate, they decided to clean house. They decided to get those 250 up and running, and that's why they earned that takeoff win. We can now say that Elevate did took off in that previous map, but the question would be the change of game mode from hardpoint. It's gonna be search and destroy. So the question would be, what is gonna be the map? So there's a lot of possible maps that we can see. Is it gonna be firing range? Is it gonna be slums, just like earlier? Is it gonna be Tunisia, Meltdown, or probably Coastal? One of those maps can dictate the fate of Visual Scaries if we're gonna be seeing a control map or not.
Now we're gonna probably see firing range still gonna be banned by one of these two teams that we have right now, which is Visual Scary and Elevate. Slums, that was the map that Team ALUla and Team X did played in Search and Destroy. I'm not really sure if they're a big fan or they're a big Slums team, but I would say Meltdown probably, or probably Coastal would be a really good map. But let's take a look at the MVP for this hardpoint map between Elevate and Visual Scary. It's going to be PJ with 62 elimination with a KDA of 1.44.
Amazing stats for PJ, but let's talk about the previous stats for this guy. Of course, average kills amounting to somehow almost 40 in hardpoint. And the question would be, can PJ maintain that heat that he has in his heart right now when he's playing? Can he continue the momentum with the guys from Elevate in order for them to secure the series, or Will Visual Scary melt down the ice from these guys and somehow steals the show and force a control map? Because at the end of the day, I wanted to see control, and they're not giving it to us. They wanted an easy 2-0 win, but I wanted a close fight. For me, I wanted to see a control just for this series and probably the later series next. So I'm in for a ride. Hopefully, you guys are too.
Yeah, man,
Hello.
for the ride. This is my favorite game mode in Call of Duty Mobile, Search and Destroy, and we're gonna do it in Coastal. One of the prediction of maps that I did mention earlier on. So, for Search and Destroy, Meltdown Firing Range was banned. Slums in Tunisia was banned for the side of Elevate. So they're gonna go in all in Coastal here in Search and Destroy. We've seen a glimpse of whatever Search and Destroy matchups that we have already saw earlier between ALUla and X, but I think this is going to be a much different experience, Vince, between Visual Scary and Team Elevate, because we've seen them played in Hardpoint. For me, that was a very close Hardpoint right until the end. That the gap basically got bigger for Elevate. So for Search and Destroy, a totally different game mode. We're not so sure who's gonna win. Take this win, Vince. What about you? What is your prediction? Who will take Search and Destroy?
For me, it's quite hard, and yeah. Talking about different game mode, when it comes to Hardpoint, yes, you can die multiple times, you can respawn, but when it comes to Search and Destroy, if you got caught by someone in this map, that means you're gonna wait for the next round for you to respawn. And every point counts in Search and Destroy. The objective differs for Hardpoint. In Hardpoint, you just need to get to 150 points by stepping in every hardpoint spawning in that map. And for Search and Destroy, as the attacker, you need to plant that bomb and successfully defuse it. If you're the defender, you need to stop the attacker, of course, for planting that bomb. Either eliminate them all. So, my thoughts for this Coastal map, of course, my honest take is that I wanted to see Visual Scary get this win because I wanted to see control. But there's a lot of course, there's a lot of challenge. If I were Visual Scary, there's a lot of challenge for me to face. Candy holding that's SR, quite scary for me. If I am Visual Scary, I have to respect that as well. I have to play out with this map. So for this map, Coastal, it's quite large. It's lane focused that rewards methodical site setups and precise post-planting positioning. And this setting alone plays directly into the tactical strengths of Sebio. We've seen him earlier that he's trying to pop off in Hardpoint, but can he pop off here in the Search and Destroy? Because he can utilize slow pace default to catch Elevate setup off guard. So let's see if he can pull that off.
So what you're trying to say is we might see one of these two teams who will try to utilize one of the objectives in Search and Destroy, which is to go for plants, which we didn't really saw in the previous matchup that we had with the ALUla and the Elinari X. So that's going to be interesting, Vince. Hopefully we can definitely see one of those objectives being used here in Coastal in Search and Destroy. Again, this is Elevate versus Visual Scary. Let's start the matchup here in Search and Destroy.
Let's get it on, ladies and gentlemen. Who's gonna get this first one? Elevate now, defending the side up against Visual Scary, having that bomb in their possession. But can they play that one out? Where is the bomb? It's heavily escorted towards B side. There's an attempt for the side of Visual Scary. They're trying to read the room. Pickle! He got caught. And that means that's one player down. Make that two. Susano, of course, gonna be the trade in this action. This is gonna be a 4 versus 3 situation with Sebio looking for potential pickoffs on this one. Ready to cook in that name, but no one is gonna receive that. So the question will be, can Visual Scary penetrate the defense of Elevate?
Oh, looks like they can, as Rex able to take down Kendi right at mid. So this is gonna be their opening. Utilities now being thrown out by the side of Visual Scary. 3v3 situation at hand here. Looks like they're going for a little bit of rotation. Ooh, nice kill there by PJ. Able to wait for Sebio to shotgun them or gun him down. Law now gets in. Rex, unfortunately, did not connect in the first shot there. One more player left to go. Chroma with the SKS, kind of like Lucas Zin earlier on with ALUla. Now he needs to get two here. He reloads PJ on the right, and PJ gets the kill there in that round as Elevate open things up here in this Coastal Search and Destroy matchup.
For me, that round is quite doable, but it's really hard for the last guy, a Visual Scary, because if you're seeing one guy open, you know, you don't know where the other guy is, and he's probably pointing guns at you. For Chroma, it's Redemption. He's gonna popcorn the straight out of Claw. Yopi and Susano with that Venge kill, and Pickle also gets his double, and that means two for both teams. PJ, Candy, for Elevate, Pickle, Sebio, now looking for that kill. They won't plant that bomb. They want total elimination, and it boils down to these two snipers. Candy, Sebio, are they gonna fight it off? Are they gonna face off with each other? Are they gonna use tactics? So let's see how will they react. But for Sebio, it's all about pressing those buttons and forcing Candy to react an A.
Sebio gets the plant. Candy knows where to look at. He actually sees already. Sebio goes in for the slide as he takes out Candy. Score is now 1-1. Visual Scary looking scary there right at the end of that round.
Enemy has the objective.
Amazing play for Sebio. Man, James is stepping up. Man, if you're talking about Visual Scary, one player comes into mind popping off, and that's Mr. James right there. Mr. Eusebio popping off the 1v1 up against Candy. And now this gives an even score. Who will get towards that first 9 points? Elevate or Visual Scary? But I must say, I'm quite looking for that back and forth action for PJ. He's not welcoming Mamra into that. And we can see Candy also taking care of Sebio. Wow, what a fast pace of events unfolding right in front of our eyes. And this leaves Lex the final guy as he got eliminated.
And what's important here for Elevate is once one player goes out, there's a trade right away that will be traded by Elevate. So that's basically what's different here between them and Visual Scary, as now we start off round number 4. The score is 2-1. And currently so far, looks like the pressure is now going to be in towards the side B as PJ now backs out. Tries to cover up here at side B. Oh, gets one, but will be traded out right away here by Team Visual Scary. Then again, Elevate now only has, or it's Visual Scary rather, only has 2 and now only has 1 as Rex goes down. Chroma with the SKS as he's actually going back out because he's all outnumbered by Elevate, and Elevate wins that round.
Ooh, game is quite close, but Elevate here is respecting the aggression coming in from Visual Scary. I must say, Elevate is now taking the lead in this series, 3-1 in this Search and Destroy. Visual Scary now having that bomb in their possession. I think they're rushing towards A. Sebio eliminates Yopi, but at the cost of 2 lives. And this will open up a 3 versus 4 situation. Susano up there in the back. Roma waiting for an opening, but Susano, got that backstab. Very juicy backstab as he's looking for the final 2. Pickle, Sebio. Can they step up? Can they eliminate 2 players each to get this round win? Sebio trying to pick a fight, but he got caught in the back by Claw. And Claw right now trying to rotate. Sebio, final guy in this battle, but he got caught by Candy. Man, the battle of snipers are quite tight in this series.
Yeah, unfortunately for Visual Scary, they're not able to connect with those snipers. You can see that
Destroy
Vince
the
G
objective.
in that previous round. Score is now 4-1. Elevate does have the lead. Ooh, Rex actually able to take out Kendi very earlier on here in this matchup. So this means that they will have a little bit of that advantage here. Visual Scary now throwing out all of the utilities. Pickle gets Claw. So it's going to be a 5v3 situation now. This might be their time to bounce back and maybe add to the score. But let's see if Elevate will clutch it out for this round. No! Rex says no. Yopi goes down. And again, Rex, very good with that sniper. PJ tries to check out here. Then again, Susano now tries to circle all the way around. Able to get one. Rex will go down. Currently, the bomb is at A. Ooh, Chroma, unfortunately, not able to clutch it out there. So, looks like Elevate is now making a comeback here. 2v3 situation. But they have to think about also of the bomb that has been planted. Oh, but then PJ and Susano got taken out.
3 versus 2. And we've seen that kind of defense. They're not letting it through. Even though that they have the bomb, they're not letting Elevate to come close into the site. So with that domination, somehow Visual Scary is trying to catch up into the score. But right now, we can see PJ unloaded that nade. Mamra got eliminated first. 4 versus 5. They're trying to rotate. Yopi gets his double. And this means that it's all up to Sebio and Rex now. Sebio now in the possession of the bomb. Can he protect this one? Can Rex escort him? As they drop the bomb, they drop like flies, and Elevate here will be having that round win once again. So they need 4 more, Cuckoo.
Yeah, 4 more for Elevate. And it is all she wrote here
The enemy has the bomb.
for them in this first day of the round robin stage. It's like Team Elevate focusing on to the A side here. Oh, they actually overcommitted out all the way to the side of Visual Scary. 3 players are out already. Oh my goodness, Claw gets out of the open, and now only 1 player left to go. Mamra for the side of Visual Scary. Gets one there. PJ goes down, and information has already been provided that he's out here in the open now. Yopi gets Mamra out. 6-2 is the score. 3 rounds remaining here for Elevate.
He got heavily cornered. 1 up against 4. Quite hard and sticky situation to get out. But right now, it's all about the switch. Elevate now having the possession of the bomb. Visual Scary, they need to defend those sites. Elevate is now going for that rotation. They're not moving with the bomb. They're just leaving it at base. They're just trying to analyze where and why will Visual Scary defend. Chroma successfully eliminates Crow, and PJ gets that trade. Sebio again answers back, eliminated PJ with a wall bang. And as we can see, a 3 versus 4. Again, evening the game. Yopi eliminates Pickle. Now, what's gonna be the next move? Sebio right now trying to look for one, and Susano brings out the switchblade. Sebio with a PKM, but with that double, Candy found an opening to snipe him up with a Locus.
Now it's a 1v1 here. Rex versus Kendi. We've seen this one in the previous rounds. Rex able to take out Kendi with a sniper. But looks like Kendi, he will try to attack Bravo site. It's a very much open Bravo site. He can definitely take that bomb and plant it over there. So this will just lead onto a retake here by Visual Scary. Rex already has information on where to go. Kendi does have the corner here. Grab the sniper, actually sees Rex not able to connect with that sniper. And now Rex will have a retaliation here. Utility's now going to be thrown off. As Rex will be spotted on a different angle. Kendi finding the right angles here for Elevate.
Well, I quite wanted to somehow see Visual Scary defend the sites up against Elevate. And it's quite hard because Elevate is playing with the bomb quite right. We've seen them play that slow. They just leave it at base. They're just checking out where Visual Scary is going to allocate the manpower. But It seems like they want to rush. They want to go B. They're trying to unload everything. Player number 5, Candy, is being left out here at A. But no, they're going all in. They're going to try to eliminate all of the players of Visual Scary at B. But they got handled by Rex here. Klo got taken out. So that means it's all up to Susano. He's having to carry that bomb, but he got caught by Pickle. And this might be the start where Visual Scary is gonna get that momentum up and running. Can they do it? Can they close the gap? Can they overtake Elevate?
That quick blitz by Elevate got stopped by Visual Scary there in that round. Score is now 73. Now we go to round number 11 as Rex still tries to check out mid. Now they're taking a look at this area. Mamra does have a view of the players of Elevate, not able to connect though. Ooh, but Claw will be spotted by Chroma. Chroma gets him down.
Gets him down, looking for more, and flash towards his eyes. Life. He just got a preview of his previous life. And ladies and gentlemen, Mamra here waiting patiently, trying to hold those sights up. Chroma, Kenny spots Candy. He found an opening. He fires the warning shot, but he cannot go for the clean. And Chroma decided to take the matters into his own hands. And this is going to be the opening that Visual Scary is needing. Elevate here, being heavily denied towards A. They planted it successfully, but for Visual Scary, it's fine. We have a lot of time to defuse this. 27 seconds is a lot. So you have to be concerned if I were Elevate, because Visual Scary momentum is in their favor right now.
Yeah, the momentum is now with Visual Scary. The score is now 7-4. We might even see 75. But then Elevate needs to focus. And now Visual Scary trying to check. Ooh, looks like they have an opening here at A site. And Elevate now does have the A site on with them on their hands. Right on the bottom is actually Sebio. Sebio tries to go for that wall bang underground. The bomb has already been planted by Elevate. Now we see here Chroma. Chroma trying to go for the SKS shot through the smoke. Not gonna connect though, because Elevate players are right at the corner. Pickle with 1 HP left, I think. Yopi. Ooh, PJ and Yopi gets the players of Visual Scary. And you can see all smiles here for the player of Elevate. The score is now 8-4. One more round left for Elevate.
Probably locked in. PJ, Yopi getting the most out of it, but two of those guys, they did the job of eliminating the members of Visual Scary. They rush towards A, they plant the bomb, and they force the players of Visual Scary to somehow react. Yopi gets Rex. This might be it, but for the team of Visual Scary, they have to be extra careful. You don't want Elevate to somehow stomp you out of this entire mode. You need to get you need to win this round in order for you to make an upset. Mamra is doing that pistol job very clean, eliminating Candy. So 4 versus 3, they just need to find the attackers. Bomb is still on the ground. Can they put it? I think B is gonna be the position where Elevate is gonna settle, and where they're gonna be waiting for Visual Scary to come close. Nade not trying to reach out. Player number 5, still Chroma trying to spray down. Nades a lot of openings here with the flash. Quite hard for them to see. PJ right now has no idea where the player is at, but for the side of Visual Scary, it's all up into the winery to take it home.
The score is now 8-5. They deny that match point by Elevate. Elevate still has a lot of chances here. Visual Scary needs to win in consecutive rounds in order to make a comeback. Now Smokes will be settled here right at mid, not to provide any much of information. Ooh, he actually sees that player get in. Pickle will be spotted, or actually it's Yopi will be spotted by Pickle. Chroma gets Claw as well. So it looks like Elevate is having a really big trouble here in the last couple of rounds that we might see. A minute and a half left here for... Ooh, Kendi actually gets Chroma down, making it a 3v3.
Sweet for Candy, eliminating one. Susano also eliminating Sebio. Now it's all up to Pickle and Mamra. Susano, Candy, and PJ still alive for the Elevate. Bomb is not being planted. Susano takes care of Pickle. Mamra got taken down. And there you have it. Elevate decided to win this series.
Elevate gets the win and also the series win over Visual Scary. And you know what? Still kudos to Visual Scary because they really battle it out, making sure that they will not bow down really quick to a champion, which is again Elevate. And Elevate, again, as the previous champion or the defending champs, able to take a 2-0 series win over Visual Scary. You can see here the stats. PJ will most likely be the MVP here for this matchup with a KDA of 13, 10, and 2. You can see the balance here between Elevate and Visual Scary. Elevate, a much more balanced team if you look at their stats.
Well, quite close. Sebio stepping up for the side of Visual Scary with a KD of 10, 10, and 3. Almost close towards PJ. PJ also getting the job done for the entire team. And, of course, Elevate decided to take this series for Visual Scary. Of course, they did their best. And I must say that Search and Destroy is quite close. Visual Scary is trying to catch up into the numbers game, but that's the point where you somehow cannot afford to make mistakes, because with Elevate having that 1 point, that match point in that SND round, you have to be very careful in your approach. So with that, somehow Elevate closed that the Search and Destroy in their favor even this series. So it's a really good series if you're gonna be asking me. So Elevate did their best. Also for the side of Visual Scary, they also did their best. We're gonna be expecting more for these teams as well in the next set of days.
There were quite few shots from Visual Scary that they did not connect, and that happened in the early rounds. As you can see, the lead here, 4-2 in our highlights. Elevate taking the lead here. Elevate was really on point when it comes to whatever objective that they have per round. And like what I said, there were a few shots that would not connect for Visual Scary, really haunted them in the latter stages. Eventually, in the latter stages, Vince, you could see some hope for the side of Visual Scary, but again, it's just way too late. Team Elevate already had 8 round points, wherein they only needed 1 more, and that 1 more round was taken right at the end, and they were able to get the series win, and also the map win here in Search and Destroy.
Amazing show of dominance. Elevate, of course, one of the top teams here in the Garena Masters, and of course they're quite hot in the previous season 10, and that's why they wanted to also bring the heat in this season. So for Claw, he's the match MVP. Look at this, he's doing the Claw pose. Having a 10 total eliminations, 1-4-3. Who wouldn't love this guy? Having a 1-4-3 KDA, Claw, being the match MVP in this entire SND. Man, he's trying to, show that he got the situation under control, and for them, it's gonna be that win collectively as a team. Elevate, congratulations, they're having that first point in this round robin, but I wanted to see more of Visual Scary in the upcoming days as well. How will they somehow get their points, their win up against the other teams?
And by the way, the series MVP is from Elevate. Again, it's going to be PJ, who has 75 eliminations and a KDA of 1.42. Just a .01 less from the 143 of Claw earlier on. But again, PJ was really impactful for Team Elevate all throughout, even not just on Search and Destroy, even on a hard point. If you saw that matchup earlier on in Takeoff, so PJ, we would also say Claw and Susano in Takeoff also had their highlight there. But again, all throughout, overall, PJ was the man here, the MVP of the series.
Well, we've got the man in the chat. Series MVP for PJ. Of course, you want to get hugged by this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, what a series. And of course, that's our main course. That is just the second series of this evening. Of course, we have a lot to talk about this guy. He's popping off starting from hardpoint, and now he brought the aggression, he brought the heat, the flame in this Search and Destroy. But you have to watch out for this guy as well. Now, let's talk about the standings. Of course, ALUla and Elevate having their series win for today, having won series score, having 2 match scores. They haven't lost yet, but for AMG.NLX and VIZUALZ SKAERI, they had their 2 match losses, and they have to look to search for their wins in the upcoming days. For DBK Oblivion, of course, they're just watching at home right now because they're not gonna play, and that's leaves us with rival esports and legends facing off in our main event.
Yeah, rightfully so. The main event is RVL versus LGD, so we will see that later on. Vince G, we're done with 2 series. Again, just a recap for the viewers who just popped in our live stream. Again, the first series, ALUla takes out X Esports, and then on the second matchup, we have VIZUALZ SKAERI got eliminated, or got the or take the loose, or takes the L with Elevate taking the 2-0 lead. But now, Vince G, we're gonna go on a break here. Kuku TV together with Vince G. We'll be right back for more Call of Duty Mobile action.
Welcome back into the Garena Masters 11, and it is time for our main event. We are done with the first two series. We have seen two series winner, and it's time to close the evening with the last two teams that is gonna face off. So it's gonna be Legends versus Rival Esports. Vince G and Kuku TV is still with you, and we welcome you back here. Kuku, your thoughts about this series?
We have Rival Esports. Players are, formerly from, previous rosters that we had in Garena Masters. For Urban Legends, I heard of this name way back before when I was in Blacklist International. So we did had the Blacklist Ultimate team before. So we had Jabin, who was formerly from Smart Omega as well. So these are, familiar names. Staple names here in Call of Duty Mobile, and we will see their lineup clash again in three game modes. If ever we need three game modes, again we have Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, and Control. But for the past couple of series, we had ALUla versus X, we had Elevate and VIZUALZ SKAERI. It's been a 2-0 series, so why not? Let's end it with a bang. We're gonna have, a three match series between these two.
Expecting a Control, yeah, that's me too. So this might be the series that we're gonna be finally seeing Control. So you've, of course, you've laid out the foundation of history. You brought up Jabin, of course. Your tenure with Blacklist as an organization, you've met that guy in your bootcamp playing for Blacklist Ultimate before, OUG and Smart Omega, and of course he's leading the Urban Legends as we speak. So with him in the charge, leading the charge for this team, of course they came off third place finish in the Community Gladiator Season 2 in of course last month, July 2026. So they are very much highly capable of slowing down fast-paced teams and forcing them into methodological gunfights. But on the other hand, let's talk about the other team, Rival Esports. Logo, emblem, quite familiar. Of course, we've seen them shown bright because they're the former Team Star Magic. They entered the series with high promise, high momentum. They qualified in the Swiss. They completed the Swiss qualifiers with an undefeated 5-0 record. So they're showing that they're capable of explosive slaying power and aggressive coordination. So we have to watch out for these two teams. So might as well we need to gear up probably in the very explosive main event today.
And we're talking about the roster of Rival Esports: Yato, Josh, Jibby, AG10, and Idra. But then again, before we even go forward to the matchup, let's again talk about the tournament schedule. Again, this is the first day of the round robin stage. We're currently in July 17, but they did go through the qualifier stage from July 4 until July 8, and then from today until July 26, we will have the round robin stage. And again, the top four teams all throughout the round robin stage will go to the playoffs, which will happen 2 days before my birthday, August 1st and August 2nd. And you can now see here the tournament roadmap. I did mention the qualifier stage, 130 teams did battle it out, and then we now have 7 remaining teams here in the round robin stage. And like what I said, Vince, we're only gonna have 4 teams in the playoffs.
Limited slots, limited seats. So that means all of these teams, 7 teams, even the invited teams, they have to do their best to make it in the playoff stage, because there's a lot at stake here. Later on, we're gonna be talking about the prize pool, but I've mentioned that Rivals, of course, they survive in the Swiss qualifiers of 130 teams, 5-0 undefeated. We go in now in the 40,000 total prize pool for this entire Garena Masters 11. And of course, once you survive in this round robin stage, that means you will be earning a safe 2,500 US dollars. But of course, being present here, being able to play here in the round robin stage, that gives you the right to take home 1,500 US dollars. But for me personally, if I am the player, if I am a team competing here in the GM11, I'm not gonna be satisfied with 1,500 US dollars. It's up for us to raise the stakes, go high, aim for the grand champion prize pool of 20,000 US dollar, and of course, you mentioned earlier, bring home the bacon. And this leaves Legends and Rival Esports to be the last teams to play for this evening. DBK Oblivion, we're gonna be seeing them tomorrow, of course, because they don't want to just watch and sit pretty. They want to also have their series win. So are we gonna be able to see them tomorrow with their explosive action?
We will hopefully see them tomorrow. Vince, DVK Oblivion, that one team that will not play tonight. But then again, now let's talk about the map veto here. You can see here the bans here by these two teams. And again, as for Rivals, they ban Combine and Takeoff. As for Urban Legends, they ban Arsenal and Summit. It looks like we're going to be in Hacienda. Did it stop? No, not yet. Summit. Hacienda.
Is it gonna be Hacienda or Summit?
Hopefully we can
Make
get
up
Summit.
your mind, Roulette. Make up your mind.
No, you know what? It is going to be Hacienda because
Okay,
I already did mention that Summit was banned already, so it is already included there. So banned maps, one of the banned maps by Urban Legends, it is Summit. So Hacienda will be the hardpoint matchup here for again the third series rather of the night. Again, this is Rivals versus Legends. Whoever your pick here, just spam in your chats right now.
Spam it in. We're gonna read that later on. But Hacienda is the name of the game. The bans are in right in front of your screen, of course. For Rival, they remove Combined and Takeoff. For Legends, LGD, Urban Legends, Arsenal, and Summit, they don't want to see that. So we're gonna be playing off in Hacienda, where Rival is gonna be yellow, red, and for Legends, they're gonna be on blue side. So who's gonna be who's gonna win this hard point? That's gonna be the question mark for each and everyone. So let's talk about these two teams as we kick off with Legends getting the first 5 points, but Rival, nonetheless, Vince G, you talk too much. We are seeing Rival having the first 10 points, overtaking Legends.
Yeah, first hard point. It's gonna be way out in the open, so not much of any subjective gameplay here for the side of either of the two teams. So whoever will get in will get the point. Legend now in, but again still being challenged by Team Rivals. Score is 14-15. Might be a tie game. There you go. As we are now going to P number 2 at Garage, I think. Yep, it'll be at Garage here. Will we see Team Rivals now able to defend this location? Legends trying to get in, but looks like Team Rivals able to eliminate them, trying to gatekeep them from getting inside.
It's gonna be hard. They're trying to pop off those cars in the garage, and now they're trying to go towards the shore and trying to touch some sand here, but they got caught first. They're unleashing a lot of bullets here. Vanlu gets still. AG, of course, shuts down MJ, but as we speak, Legends having to set foot in the garage and trying to eliminate the members of the Rivals. You cannot get inside the garage because this is our territory. With 10 seconds remaining, Legends is gonna take the most out of it. And we can see the Rivals, they're coming through hot. They're sliding one after another. They don't want to waste any time. They don't want to waste any points. Forcing MJ to go low. He's trying to take a peek towards them.
Score is now 35-42. We switch over to P number 3. It looks like Team Legends able to get that hard point right away, but then gonna be challenged by GB. GB will actually go down though. Yato able to get two. Kin also gets Van Lu. AG gets down by Ginch. And now the War Machine here by Idra, waiting for anyone to get in. Rata for Idra as he takes one more. What a play here by Idra as they're now leading this matchup 52-45. They also have this hard point in mind here, Vince G. As now for the rest of Legends, they need to take it back. But again, it's less than 20 seconds left here for this hard point. They might want to think about going to the next one.
They're gonna be thinking of what are they gonna do next. 8 seconds remaining. They're trying to pick all of those flowers in the garden as they are trying to contest and go towards P number 4, waiting for it to open. And right now, you bring the action outside. Meet me outside. We're gonna try to control P number 4. They're trying to play hide and seek in the garage. Ring around the Rosie. Someone got caught. Yato goes for MJ most. He got the most out of Hydra. The kills doesn't stop there. They're just waiting for P number 4. And we can see Banlu building that death machine. He's trying to run with a heavy weapon on hand. You don't want to get caught, but Yato denies him otherwise.
Now Rivals getting this lead higher and higher, 81-57. Oh, look at those utilities. Look at those bombs here used by both teams. Then again, it is still even in this hard point as nothing or no one is actually going to be stepping on it. But then again, now it's like Legends is getting a little bit of those points here. 60-81 is the score right now. Rivals will get the points here with 2 more seconds left to go as we sit back right at mid in P number 1. And looks like the rotation is up here for Rivals. They will take this P number 1.
P number 1 at it again, ladies and gentlemen. Things are getting crowded. Rival having that momentum. Legends trying to contest with that one. 64 up and counting. Can they force Rivals outside P number 1? Now it's quite vacant. Legends found an opening, but Rival doesn't want Legend to set foot into that fountain in the middle. A lot of nades being thrown at their way, and we can see the players are trying to peek off towards the second floor, finding players that are attempting to jump right in that fountain as one and more players collapses. Once they're trying to reclaim this fountain, it's just 10 seconds. They need to prepare for P number 2.
A lot of points being taken by Rivals here at mid and P number 1. And now they're on their way to the garage, wherein there's already players of Team Legends. So good rotation here by the Legends. But then again, they need to make it quick for the defense. There you go. You can see that defense being done by Team Legends. Now they take this hard point, 84 and counting here for their scores. Gets the most out of that situation. Nice play for him, but here comes AG with the SKS. He will be spotted though. And now look at the score of Legend, Vince. It is now getting closer to whatever score Rival has.
Yeah, and Legends is trying to catch up. Urban Legends, not a myth. It's now trying to prove that they exist in this tournament. They're letting their name known, and they're trying to get back into their feet, catching up to Rivals with 1 point up. Legends overtook them finally as they took full control in this garage, and mayhem ensues here. The car is the sole witness of it all, of the aggression, all the action. They're trying to switch position. P number 3, the second one, it's gonna be unlocked anytime soon.
That garage hard point was really crucial for Team Urban Legends as they now take the lead here, 129. But again, now as we switch over to the next hard point, P number 3, Team Rival Esports able to take it back, and Idra with a shot there to Jabin. Ooh, look at this War Machine now being used by AG, getting most out of that. And now Idra with the Death Machine now being used now to Team Urban Legends. but then he will get stopped. Ginch with a God Nade to 10. Idra goes down. Yato gets Japin. It is an even playing field right now, right over here, but most of this hard point was taken by Rivals Esports.
This is a good rally between these two teams. They're just trading blows, exchanging position. They're trying to overtake one after another. Mayhem in the garden. It's chaotic out there. 5 more seconds before we head towards P number 4. And the last step, I believe, is gonna go towards LGD. Legends trying to make a mark in this tournament. Legends are gonna try to approach P number 4. Rival says otherwise. We're gonna get the first touch. We're not gonna get Legends come near this P number 4. Predator missile is gonna go down, raining, but no one is gonna took that hit. Rivals is now in full control outside P number 4. Legends having a hard time getting through.
Ooh, and Jibby getting a lot of damage there, but again, those kills was taken by Tin and Yato. Now Vanlu gets GB with a God Nade, MJ gets Tin, Ginch goes down. Team Rivals Esports now on a momentum here with them in the hard point, 192 and counting. Urban Legends, all of a sudden, Vince, their score came into a halt here. They need to do something here in order for them to bounce back.
Yeah, they have to figure out how to stop Rival. They need to rival that aggression that they're being shown in this hard point map. Hacienda quite tricky for these two teams, but Rival somehow found the formula as we head back into the middle. P number 1 gonna be unlocked anytime soon. Rival took the first step. We can see Jamin going from behind. He took down Yato. Most have AG in his hands, but Manlu, Most after respawn, he took down Tin. Yato as well. Most get his third, and he's not done yet. He wants to go for more. Hydra right now popping on those smokes. He's checking out the window. One is gonna crash down. He crashed down heavily, and MJ with a spray. Hydra surviving in that, and Hydra also getting him in exchange. AG goes for Manlu. Yato goes for Most, and this is the chaotic fountain action that I am seeing right now.
And now Yato with a claw. He finds the enemies. Tin gets MJ. And now the scores just keep on counting here for Team Rival Esports. Oh, Most unfortunately will be out-dueled, outgunned by that player. But then now we switch over here to the garage. Team Urban Legends needs this hard point, but looks like Rivals Esports still has the most out of this hard point. And now we're just counting in towards the end. 246, 4 more seconds left here for Rivals Esports, but Urban Legends, I think they still have life here. They now have the garage area. They have all the corners here. Most trying to get all of the players here for Rivals to get off from their location.
Oh my gosh.
Look at Jibby. Jibby now takes
Oh
it.
my gosh.
248, 249, and 1 more second left as Rivals Esports gets the hardpoint win.
GB decided to touch waters and then leap back into the garage. He figured out the garage is quite vacant, so he took the last 4 seconds to victory. Rival Esports, they bag the first mode. It is gonna be them at hardpoint as we talked about the players. Most AG having to shine in this entire mode. Look at AG for Rivals. He got 52 kills and he died 26 times, but the amount of time and impact that this guy has, man, it's too much for Rivals. And I must say, Legends, they did somehow try to catch up in that neck to neck hard point, but in the end, it's Rivals. They found the opening and they sealed the deal. So I wonder what's gonna happen in Search and Destroy. Is it gonna be Rivals still to close this series, or probably Legends is gonna try to somehow treat our eyes with this control? Probably the first control of this evening, first control of this tournament.
Yeah, the first 3 hard points, Vince. very close. You can see here the scores 45 to 46. Then again, the ball went rolling for the side of Team Rivals Esports right after P number 3. And I'm not really so sure what happened to Urban Legends, Vince. I mean, I think they forgot to step on the hard point, or they're just probably just outgunned by their enemy, which is again Rivals Esports. You see a lot of these highlights. I mean, they try their luck, but eventually get stopped right whenever they try to step on the hard point. So that is what the difference is here between these two in this hard point matchup. There was a little bit of life for the side of Urban Legends, but again, Rivals Esports just responded back where they would just step on the gas pedal, where they step specifically starting on the next P number 1, on the second P number 1 rather, and then eventually on the next P number 2 going until the end. Rivals Esports was just going forth towards their win, and we saw the win there. Vince, Rivals Esports won over Urban Legends in that hardpoint matchup.
Well, game's quite hard actually for these two teams, but Rival found a way to somehow get that 250. It was just 4 seconds. They just need 4 seconds. And with, of course, the last guy being clever, he decided to sneak right into the garage to close that mode. Well, it gave Rival that boost. That gave them some series point that they need to somehow win in this tournament. But we have a trend that, whoever wins the first map, they can close this in a 2-0. But for Legends, Urban Legends, can they force a control? That's what I'm asking for all throughout this the beginning of this broadcast. Control. Can we reach control? Who is the team that's gonna force a control map? Is it gonna be Legends this time?
Well, I mean, we'll focus first on the next matchup, which is again Search and Destroy between Rivals Esports and Urban Legends. We've seen earlier on in the previous matchup between Elevate and VIZUALZ SKAERI, they did play on a coastal map. On the previous matchup prior to that, we've seen ALUla and X played in slums. So what will be the third map then now here in the third series that we do have? I mean, we've seen a lot of bans, Vince, for firing range, and we've seen these two teams. These two teams are the OGs who played Call of Duty Mobile here, and the esports scene of Call of Duty Mobile throughout the years, and might as well have them play in firing range. That's my prediction. What about you?
Well, firing range, quite a very nice throwback. And what a lovely map for me, firing range, having to see bullets penetrate through those plywoods. It's no brainer. You have to unload a lot of spray and pray. But in that previous map alone, Hacienda being conquered by Rivals, I believe that map heavily favored them, because it's really the spawn area, probably the courtyard, the fountain area, P number 1. It's very, very hard to maintain. A lot of jumping actions. But for Rivals, they played in a very high tempo in that match. And they're not even scared to risk a trade. And, even one player down, after respawn, you clean house. And then for Rivals, it's the point that matters. It's staying in the hard point that matters. Firing range. There you go. How do you know? You're
I don't
good,
know,
man. You don't know.
I might be Cuckoo Nostradamus, Vince. But you know what? You can see the bans there. They banned Meltdown Coastal. That was for Rivals Esports, and then for Urban Legends, they banned Slums in Tunisia. So that led us to Firing Range. So this is gonna be a classic Firing Range OG map, and then we have OG players here between Rivals Esports and Urban Legends. Looks like we're gonna have a little bit of technical issue there in that map. So we're gonna have to set up another room for the two teams. So Vince G and Kuku TV will be right back at you here in Call of Duty Mobile Garena Masters Season 11 Legacy of Champions. Will be the champions ready, and you can probably get your predictions up already. I mean, if you can predict already in day number 1 of the round robin stage, then maybe you can try to set that one up in the chats there. I mean, a lot of viewers right now here in the red app. We also have the blue app and also the black app, Vince.
Yeah, it's the thought that counts. Let's see, who are you predicting? Are you like Kuku Nostradamus, who predicted that this is gonna be in firing range? Man, let us know your thoughts. Who has that firing range? But let me have my thoughts as well to give you some of, this might somehow help you had a little bit of background. Kuku mentioned firing range. I quite missed this one. Search and destroy, it's gonna be the mode. So, well, if we're gonna be going back into the maps, where we didn't see a repeating map all throughout the entire day. Firing range to close the search and destroy. We've seen also coastal. We've seen slums, but no Tunisia, no meltdown. It's all about firing range this time around. But firing range, if we're gonna be talking about this map, it's a highly explosive, fast-paced map that features aggressive trailer pushes and close quarter fights, because you need to get inside, you need to go climb the quarters, and then from there you just have to ready up your shotguns and all that stuff. So it's gonna be favoring their aggression style. And as I am speaking, Vince G, you talk too much. Shut up first, because we got a first blood already.
Yeah, that was Ginch with the God Nade from the side of Rivals Esports. But will be traded right away with a sniper. So it is a 4v4. Not really a big map here, Vince. So just a small map, like what you said. A lot of CQCs. Maybe later on, GB gets most. Now MJ tries to check the corners here. As Team Urban Legends. Ooh, at A site, Jibby open things up here. At A site, another one sees him, but nope. GB will not get spotted. Yato is already also here, but then will be stopped. But then there's gonna be the trade as Team Rivals Esports gets to A site.
Hello.
But then you have to check your corner. Tin will die in the process. MJ gets him
Behind.
and now MJ will be spotted as well. But Idra wins that duel as Rivals Esports gets the first round win.
He won that duel without having the other two being involved. They're just left at A. They're just defending. They're letting Hydra handle business. You can take care of it, my guy. And that's how Rival decided to take this first search and destroy map. Impressive first blood, impressive nade coming in, eliminating Grinch from the right from the start. And we're seeing Jabin, of course, trying to eliminate Hydra. This is what we're talking about. Rivals, it favors their aggressive style, fast-paced map. It's very much suits Rivals, but for Legends, as we can see right now, MJ eliminating Yato, they had that experience. It talks of being the veteran in the map, well, we can hand out to Legends. And this is the map that they're gonna be probably shining up the most.
A nice patience there by Jabin. Now Tin, unfortunately, will be spotted by Jabin as well. Jabin was really too good in that round, tying things up here. Urban Legends, Rivals Esports. Again, a banger for you guys in an OG firing range map. And now utilities. Earlier on, we saw one of the utilities being popped on the head. Oh, but Tin gets MJ down right in the early of this matchup. But Tin again gets Jabin. 2K already here for Tin in this round. Can you do more?
Can he? That's the question. They need to figure that out. They need to find the answers. As we can see some rotation. Most receive damage. 5 versus 2. Most, he got wounded up. He'll stop too fast. And now he needs to regroup up with Vanlu. And now they're trying to check every site from A and B. They're heavily guarded, but A is now quite open, but it's the final guy. He got the most damage probably taken in this entire game. He healed up, he showed up full health, and he got taken out as the last guy. So Rival somehow maintaining that aggression. How can Legends show their veteran side? And as the chat say, how can the Unk show the kids how it's done?
Oh, Jabin got naded earlier on in this round. So no more Jabin for Urban Legends. And now, let's see how they can go for the defense. Looks like they're putting in a lot of pressure here on Bravo. And Yato throwing out some utilities. Still, the focus is on Bravo, Vince. 10, or it's just MJ rather. It's the only one defending Bravo right now. 4 players going in. 10 together with the rest. They don't see anyone. So they will probably most likely go for the plant here. AG now going for the plant. Ooh, but then will be spotted. Here comes MJ. Providing information that he's here. He gets Yato. So now the rest of the players of Urban Legends will try to go back here. Ooh, my goodness. 2 players left here. For the side of Rivals Esports, Idra now takes out his LMG. Now Idra gets Ginch. It's the PKM now being fired by Idra. MJ with a switchblade. Waiting for Idra. Idra didn't know. He doesn't know. So now it is a 1v2 situation, Vince. AG will be the last member here for Rivals Esports. But then again, look at the timer now, Vince. Is there time left for him?
Yeah, he needs to act fast. He needs to plant that bomb. And now the 2 players knew what's up. They're focused on B. They forgot A. So with that earlier engagement, Hydra in that situation, he got road dog. Oh, you didn't know? There's an opponent right in front of you. AG goes for MJ. Can he do the defense? Can he hold that bomb? Can he make it go boom? And right now for AG, decided to handle most. And with that, Rival took another round point.
AG with a 2v1 clutch. Wow. And he used the bomb also as a a bait as well. So that team Urban Legends have to think about as well on that one. But again, it is now round number 5. 1-3 is the score. Rivals Esports still has the lead here. 10. MJ is waiting. MJ actually really good with the corners, but he actually will be spotted by 10. Just gunned them down. Ooh, also Jabin will be spotted by AG. Looks like Urban Legends having a little bit of trouble here, Vince. With the corners, they have to check it.
Yeah, and as I am expecting, of course, how can the Unk show who's the veterans, who's the legends when it comes to the map when Rivals is playing ultra aggressive? They have won that defense earlier on. They just had to maintain that kind of discipline. And of course, with Rivals seeing that, they're exploiting the opening. And that's why Rivals right now, Kuku, they're snowballing rounds after rounds after rounds. So, Legends here, they need to somehow stop Rivals from being so aggressive, or maybe they should step up and be aggressive as well. They need to stop Rival from securing more rounds going towards 9.
And I was just thinking of Unks, Vince. Well, am I considered as Unk of caster for Call of Duty Mobile? Because I mean, I've casted the OG tournaments way back before when NRX was there, and then now we have these Unks between Urban Legends and Rivals Esports. Oh, most cannot connect there, unfortunately. And now look at this duel. Jabin gets AG. And now here comes Urban Legends. Idra still just firing at will with that PKM. Yato gets Jabin though. Jabin gets Tin all at the same time. So the trades are happening here for the side of Urban Legends. This is what they needed, Vince. This is what they want in order for them to bounce back and to get round wins, as they're still having only one. And as for MJ, the one who always likes these corners, waiting for that right timing. Not much yet here. 35 seconds left to go here in this round.
Well, I agree with your statement, Unk. And now it's up to the Unk to hold it in. MJ, of course, having the popcorn, being the last guy being left here. Yato and MJ. And now Yato having a lot of time to plant. But MJ denied him using that laptop. So we can see the legends. We can see our fellow Unks here trying to catch up into this game. So how do you feel, Unk Cuckoo? Because of course, in the Unk scenario here and there, we've seen these players, we've seen these teams playing during the pandemic days, and of course, Unk Neptune can relate to that one as well.
Oh yeah, big shout outs to Unk, Neptune, the Gentleman Gaming, and also to AJ Mustachio, as they're also casters here
Unks
for Garena Masters Season 11. Bomb will be planted, by the way, Vince. Ooh, look at this. SKS shots. AG not connecting, though, but down to low HP, will be able to recover. Bomb is ticking. Still a 4v4 situation. Not much of any elimination yet. Now they see Tin. Jabin gets Tin down. But again, there's going to be a trade-off here. Vanlu and Jabin goes down. Most goes down also. AG goes down. MJ will be the last guy, and will be spotted there by Rivals Esports.
Well, in terms of aggression, firing range rather, is the best suitable map for their game style. And it just shows, because look at the amount of points. They're snowballing very hard. Legends here, they need to somehow step up their defense. But what if the situation changes? What if the signs suddenly switch? What if Legends having that full control over that bomb? Ginch, speaking of bomb, his nade go boom towards 10. Leaving 4 players rotating in this firing range map. Yato holding the popcorn. AG looking towards the second floor. Spots one. He's gonna try to somehow unload those bullets. Another popcorn from Yato. Javen receives full damage. And now it's gonna be a 4 versus 4. Gunfire, Cuckoo. There's a lot of exchange happening here and there.
What a god nade there. Now, it is still a 4v4. Bomb will be taken now by Rivals Esports, as they're now thinking of going to Bravo. Now will be stunned here. Ooh, but then again, 3 players. Rivals Esports, do they know? Now they know. There's someone inside. MJ just firing at will. Will be outnumbered. Idra gets MJ. And B will be open, but there's player 1. There's going to be Ginch, just waiting for that right timing. Idra, the PKM. Now trying to guard the corners here. Oh, Ginch able to spot AG. They don't know where he is. Oh, Ginch gets another one. Can he get one more? No, he cannot. I think, actually, no, it's a different player. It was Chibi, and Vanlu gets eliminated there. But then again, that's going to be 3-5 now score here between Urban Legends and Rivals Esports.
Now we can see the switch. This is what I'm talking about earlier. What is gonna happen when the roles are reversed? Legends now having that bomb. It's gonna be laying down the ground. No one's gonna pick it up yet. Legends making sure that the coast is clear before they act. They're just waiting for Rivals to come close. As the defender, of course, they're waiting otherwise. They're not letting them fall into the bait. Yato found the Jabin. He took him out, not to dinner, but out of this round, ladies and gentlemen. But Jibby also will be getting one. Most got the trade. He went for Jibby. Yato is gonna try to rotate. He's gonna throw towards A, checks where is the bomb at, but I can see the patience coming in for the side of Legends. They're not rushing things. They're making sure that they reduce manpower before they act.
So MJ now pushes Idra back south here. But 10 is there. He knows where to. Oh, but unfortunately, will be taken out by MJ now. Idra will go for that Rata PKM. Oh, gets two. Nice play here by Idra. And now for Team Urban Legends, Most waiting. Does have the sniper on hand here. 2v1 situation here, Vince. Or it's actually a 1v1 now. It's AG and Most. Does have the Locust. Can he actually go for the kill here? Does have the range here, but for AG, just waiting at the corner. Most trying to circle around here at Bravo. Oh, actually, there's
Oh!
two more left here. It's Idra still alive and AG. AG,
The enemy has the
he
bomb.
does know already where Most is, and Most will be spotted. Not yet for AG, but he will go for the plant. AG will now see him, gets the damage there, but no more time left, Vince.
Over yet. Ready up.
He ran out of time. He knew that his gun doesn't get the job done, but it is enough for him to stop that plant. And with that time running out, oh my goodness, it is quite fast. And I am just gonna point out what's gonna happen, or what happened in that previous round. What in the fast-paced action is this? A lot of bodies dropping, and we're down to MJ as the final guy. 3 versus 1. MJ still fighting it out. Can he figure out an upset? Can he surprise us? He still has that bomb in his pocket. Can he go for the plant? But he's surrounded here. I think it's much safe if he's gonna go towards B, but AG can definitely spot him. He needs to take him out, and he did.
Yeah, he did. Now has to get one more, but will be spotted. Yato now tries to chase him down. He's down to low HP,
But it's not over yet.
and that's gonna be a
Ready up.
3-7. All smiles here for Rivals Esports, Vince. They need only 2 more in order to take the series win.
Defend the objective.
Man, with the
Enemy has
helmet
bomb.
hanging off his wall, man, this guy definitely having a feel. He's gonna invite us to a ride. I don't know when and where, but I just want an invite, man. If you want someone to invite in some road trip with a motorcycle, oh, I'm game. But look at this, game time for Tin and Jibby, eliminating 2 players, Most and Jibby now out. So this leaves 4 versus 3 situation. Trailer action here and there. Tin, MJ getting 2. Tin getting double. Ginch taken out. And now last guy, Valu dropped that bomb as he got taken out. Defuse time for Hydra. And this will give Rivals a match point. Series point.
Yeah, oh no here for Urban Legends. If they can manage to get, probably a couple of wins here, maybe they can go for a comeback, but the momentum is on the side of Rivals Esports, and now they're still complete. Oh, look at the full send here by Urban Legends onto A site. They will take A. They will go for the plant right away, Vince. There you go. The plant is in. Ooh, Tin will be spotted. Jabin gets one. Jabin gets another one. Jabin just lurking around the areas here. Now going for the wall bang. Idra almost gets 1 player off there for Urban Legends. But now for AG. 3-man left here for the side of Rivals Esports. Can they manage?
Hello?
Jabin again!
Hello?
Gets 2. Can he get 1 more? No, it will be taken by Vanlu instead. Wow, Jabin showing off in that round.
Yeah, you probably knew this guy. Probably had that blacklist
Destroy the
bond.
objective.
Old
The
head.
enemy has the
Oh
bomb.
my goodness. Veterans at it. Showing some experience They're trying to hang on in this tournament, in this series. Rivals on a series point, but look at Legends. Jabin now low. He survived that shot. He's trying to hide in plain sight, and he's gonna try to punish Tin. Trin decided to slide through safety. Vanlu and Jabin needs to somehow be safe. They need to regroup up against each other. 2 versus 3 situation. This is still doable. Legends still can make an upset, but for Rivals, they had this game. They just need to protect the lead. They just need to secure this one. Oh!
And Vanlu gets one there now. 2v1. Still a disadvantage here for the side of Urban Legends. They're gonna probably get him sandwiched. They see the bomb here. Ooh, Idra spots him from far distance, and that's gonna be it. Rivals Esports gets the 9-4 win in Search and Destroy.
Amazing show of aggression. Rival Esports. Of course, they want to rival each and every teams that is participating here in Garena Masters 11. And we have to watch out for this team. And as I've said, they played super aggressive in the firing range. We want fast pace. They gave it to us. Somehow we can see the Legends trying to show everything, trying to play it disciplined. But at the end of the day, rivals opened up. They decided to snowball their way towards the 9 points and the series victory.
Yeah, series victory for ALUla. We have Elevate, and now we have Rivals Esports getting 2-0 against their opponent. Great effort, by the way, Vince. Great effort from Jabin. Jabin really did show up here for Urban Legends, unfortunately so. He needed more of that supporting cast, which we didn't see much here. Hopefully they can correct things out here as we go along the round robin stage. There's still a lot of days left here for the round robin stage. Again, it starts from now until the 26th of July, so hopefully they can fix these up.
Yeah, 6 more days. So that is it for day number 1. But of course, can we have a little bit of recap what happened? Well, for this S&D, Jabin did step up for his team. We can see the 14 kills, as we can see the highlights on this Search and Destroy in the firing range. We can see that we started off with a 1-1. Yes, Rival get the first point in this S&D, but somehow we can see that the Legends try to even up the score. And from there, 3 round wins before Legends decided to catch up. 2-4 score. They waited for the switch, and then we see somehow that the Legends are trying to activate themselves with the C4 on hand. But at the end of the day, they're being punished by it. So they are trying to go for the rush. They're trying to play it patiently. They're trying to check which sites are quite unoccupied. Are they gonna go for A? Are they gonna go for B? But at the end of the day, a successful plan. Somehow, Rivals knew how to deal with it. They need to eliminate the players and then go for the defuse. And with that, you see AG, with the patience, he delayed most. Because if most did manage to plant that bomb, that means it's an additional seconds for them. And they're gonna be doing a 1 versus 1. So it's gonna be hard time. They might be even losing that round. And for Rivals, they kept their composure. They did manage to close that series in their favor, but there's still signs of life for Legends in this game, for this Search and Destroy, and they're trying to, catch up. It's quite hard, if we can see, because you don't want to make a single mistake in this point, but that's how you close it. For Hydra, it's a rival win because he managed to shine the most for his team, having 13 eliminations and an average of 1.86 KDA.
And Idra,
drop it,
one of those players here in the Call of Duty mobile esports scene. We've seen him from the very start. I mean, I've seen him, Vince, from the very start of everything, and he's still doing good here in 2026. Here in Garena Masters Season 11, 13 eliminations, 1.86 KDA. It's gonna be interesting who will be the series MVP though, because I'm not so sure if it's gonna be Idra altogether. It'll be Yato. Yato will be the series MVP with a total amount of 61 eliminations, 1.79 KDA.
Well, for Yato, he's the guy for this series. Having a 61 elimination and a 1.79 KDA is quite insane. Well, if you're going to be adding those hardpoint kills, it's quite high. But, of course, Yato did step up for 2 rounds, 2 matches in this entire series. And that's why he deserves his flowers as well. But, of course, not only him, the entire team deserves their flowers. Because are we going to see some scoreboard action? Because rivals are gonna be having their first 2 wins and their first series win as well. So that means 3 teams are gonna be on top. And here we go. The scoreboards. Elevate, Rivals, and ALUla having to be unbeaten in this entire round robin stage.
Yeah, it's all the same for Elevate, Rivals Esports, and ALUla Club. They got the 2-0 series against their opponents for tonight, and if they can continue on with this one, again, we might see them being in the playoffs. Again, only 4 teams who will go to the playoffs, Vince. So other teams who got defeated today needs to step up in order for them to be able to get in contention. We've seen a little bit of that potential, most especially for Urban Legends. They just need to correct their mistakes in order for them to be able to get through the round robin stages.
What an intense day number 1 of the round robin stage. We've seen 3 series, 6 teams battle it out. But for tomorrow, of course, another sets of matches are gonna be underway. So another 3 series action, and we're gonna be seeing finally DVK Oblivion in action. So they're just watching today, probably getting some intel on who's gonna be our opponent for tomorrow. We have to list that down. We have to somehow review how can we stop, because tomorrow is a Saturday and tomorrow is gonna be a super weekend for each and every one of us. So I'm much excited for day number 2. So Kuku TV, yeah, it has been a pleasure casting with you, my guy.
Yeah.
So Unc Kuku, thank you so much for being with me here today. I'm very much happy to share the stage with you.
Yeah, I'm subbing in for Coach Pika. So Coach Pika, hopefully your PC is doing fine by now, or maybe tomorrow if you're going to be casting. But it's been a pleasure to be back here in the Call of Duty mobile esports scene, casting again. Hopefully I can cast more so that I can also improve casting my Call of Duty stuff. But anyways, for tomorrow, Vince, we do have 3 matches. Again, BVK versus Elevate, X versus LGD, VZ versus RBL. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Google TV and Vince G. Good night, everybody.
Have a great night.
drop it. drop it, drop it.